All right. Well, despite having a little difficult time getting started, I appreciate everyone's time and showing up today. Today's going to be a little bit different type of business planning. We're going to kind of go over what EXIT has with their planning, how to complete that. And then I'm going to kind of give you what I expect over the next year, what I'm going to be implementing to kind of help us start to succeed here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as well. If everybody can let me know if y'all can see. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So has everyone had a chance to download the business plan from the resource center?
I have not done
No,
that.
but I can do it.
So while I'll kind of go into a little bit of a spiel here while you do that. You'll find that in the resource center. Once you log into the resource center here, you'll come down to my office and it's right under documents. I made it super easy for you guys to find. Unless if other brokers are as smart as me, their folks have to search for it. But I wanted this to be easy access for everyone to get to. So this is a fillable form. So, you'll walk through and fill this out online. Now, as we do this, I'm going to kind of go over some of the features of it and how to do it. When you sit down and really think about what your goals are going to be, I would highly recommend that you involve your spouse or significant other because they're going to have to be in support of you. And, they're going to be one of the accountability partners. We're going to talk about an accountability program that I'd like to implement at the end of this. But yeah, once you complete this, I would recommend, to sit and review it with your spouse. Your spouse doesn't need to sit and fill it out with you in its entirety, if you will. But right now the market is tough and we need to be able to have the support from our family to be able to do what we need to do for business, right? So do that with them. Once you've completed it, I'm asking that you share it with me. So you can either scan it or deliver it to the office and we can make a copy. But probably the best way is just save this as a PDF and email me the PDF. Now, if there's any parts in here that you don't feel like sharing with me, because there's some personal things in this, I get that. So just, you can split your PDF in, I think you can do it in Transaction Desk. But there's also PDF splitters where you can pull pages out. So, last year, Andrea, I don't know, did you fill this out with this, Andrea?
No.
Through?
No.
Okay. So I think it was Travis. Maybe it was Travis and Yvonne that we did the business plan with. So last year we did the business plan and honestly, we didn't revisit it very often. So I will be getting in touch with everybody at least every quarter to see how it's going. Because I want to, you guys should be looking at this daily or monthly at minimum to see if you're on track. But I'll be reaching out to everybody on a quarterly basis to help encourage everyone to kind of follow their plan, to find out what's working, what's not, and then come up with game plans to fix what's not working, and also how to continue to do what you're doing right. So I'm here to basically help you to be accountable, to perform. The major thing is taking action is paramount to beating this market. You don't have to be perfect in your marketing, but you do have to be active in it. So, you can't win if you don't play, right? The old motto. Now, looking at the numbers, we had a great call night and Brianna was the one who showed up Tuesday. And so we kind of talked about this. We were looking at the numbers for sales this year versus last year. And I've kind of been watching this and it's been scaring the living daylights out of me, to be honest with y'all. So last year at this point, we had about 155,000 homes that were sold. And this year we've only sold about 65,000, if memory serves me correct. That's a drastic reduction. So what we need to do is we need to increase our market share. So some of you, some of us are new. We don't have a market share. So we're just trying to get some piece of the pie, where, some of us have been in the business a while, and we have, of course, honestly, my market share still starts probably with 0.0 something. But, out of 155,000 homes that, had sold last year, I was probably 0.0 something. But still, we still wanted a piece of that pie. But what those numbers tell me is that there's a lot fewer people buying homes as well as selling, because inventory levels are still, I know they're on the rise. They're up to around 16,000 homes on the market, a little over 16,000 homes on the market. But we need to come up with a plan, and I've got a plan for each of us, because we're all starting from a different point. So I'm going to need you guys to commit, and we'll talk about commitment here in a little bit too, but just commit to trusting in the Lord that He's going to provide. Because, it's like the old ad, I've used this analogy before about farmers. The farmer plows, the farmer plants, the farmer seeds, but the Lord is the one who gives the increase. And so if that farmer is not out in the field, and we're farmers, if we're not out in the field, we're not going to get any type of increase. So, that's paramount to our business. So, now, I'm a Buffini coach, one class. Thanks, Andrea, for showing up. And I just finished a 3-day course on lead generation, which Brandon and I were talking Tuesday night, is going to go hand in hand with Buffini style. But, to increase our market share, we have to increase our reach. So some of us just need to reach the people that we know for now to increase our market share. And then some of us, like me and maybe even Andrea, needs to increase who we are getting in front of. And so I've got a game plan for each of those scenarios for us. There again, we'll cover that on an individual basis. And I'll also be doing meetings, and I'll be touching base on meetings coming up as well. So, not everyone has the same skill set. And, my job is to try and help provide opportunities for you to improve those skill sets. Your job is to make yourself available to learn how to improve those skill sets, right? I can't want this for more for you than you want for yourself. So today's going to be a little different. We're going to have to choke down a lot of tough. I'm going to be giving some tough love today, guys. So who all was in sports growing up?
I was.
Andrea was. I know Sean was, right?
Yeah.
And Brianna was in sports. So sometimes coaches have to light a fire. And sometimes lighting that fire means getting you face to face with some truths that we don't want to choke down. I've been coming face to face with some of those truths myself this year. I started the year out fantastic, on fire. And I was getting up, I was, doing devotions, I was reading self-help books, I was in a book club. And so, I was doing a lot on self-improvement, and some of that started going away. Honestly, the book club, they meet at like in the middle of the day anymore. So it's just too hard, to break up the middle of the day to do that. But I'm still trying to read, but that's going by the wayside too. So part of what we'll be implementing later about accountability will hopefully help each and every single one of us with doing that. So we are a team. I understand that, our businesses don't rely on one another per se, but our personalities, our desire to succeed. And I know each one of you want to see everybody in the office to succeed, and we need to commit to each other that we're going to be there as a mechanism to do that. And that's what I'm hoping that you guys will buy in on. Okay. Because this isn't going to work without you guys. I'm helping make the office great and helping one another. And I know that, I know each one of you are in the habit of helping. Don't be afraid to be asked to ask for help, and please, if someone reaches out for help, please step in as much as you can. Also, if it gets too burdensome, that help, send the person to me, or if it's above your scope, send that person to me. And remember, guys, I'm here for you. Okay. So anytime you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and hopefully Andrea knows that, I'm available. Might not always like what I have to say, but I try and be honest, and I do care about each one of you guys, and I appreciate you guys trusting me in the office. And I'm here to kind of share a little bit of vision today, but also go over business planning, because we need to see what your vision is as well, and I need to help you accomplish that. So, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and dive into it. Let me minimize this. I've got two business plans up because one is fillable, and the other one I say there's a PDF because I kind of already started it. All right. So does everyone have their business plan downloaded?
Mine's not coming up on the resource center. So I'm in documents, my office documents, and I don't have anything.
Really? Come on, Brianna, you're a slacker.
Mhm.
I don't know why, because it's right here. So you went into Resource Center, my office, and then it's not here?
Well, hold on. I went into documents, my office documents.
No. Go just on the front page, and then under my office, that tab. Sean and
Oh.
Andrea, do you have it?
Yeah, I do.
I
Oh,
got
okay. I got it. I missed that part. I got it.
the Zoom and something else at the same time. Let's see how to minimize that.
Yeah, good luck with that. I can't ever hardly figure that out. As you do that, I'll kind of get started. So there again, this is this year's business plan. Here's some of the table of contents. My commitment to exit. This is kind of what we will be covering today. Keys to success, self-assessment exercise, a 5-year vision. So today we're going to be looking at your 1-year vision. My goal is to look at a 5-year vision as well as yours. But we're going to focus on a 1-year vision today. And so we'll kind of cover that. We're going to look at last year in review. Some of you don't have a last year. Well, 2023 is considered last year. So some of you have actions that you've taken. And so this, we'll talk about what you've done, some successes, and what to continue to do. We're going to break down some of the numbers. We're going to come up, I'm going to show you what to do to make a new plan. We're going to talk just briefly about sponsoring goals. We're going to talk about an action plan. Did everyone get the email I sent like a week or two ago about a weekly action plans or monthly?
Yeah.
Andrea, did you?
I just can't access anything right now. For some
Okay.
reason.
Or your email doesn't. I can't really figure it out.
What's that?
I said your email doesn't like me.
That is strange. I got to figure that out.
You must have blocked me.
No, I know you opted out of. I know you opted out of one of the emails. That was Chandler Best Realtors, which was fine, but my email shouldn't be. Hopefully, you didn't block me.
I did not block you.
Guys, did I make you mad, Andrea?
No.
Would be the first time, though. Okay, so anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about action plans. I've sent some of that email to you. That's just a baseline of items to do. We're going to talk about organizing our time, business skills, challenges, and solutions, and then we're just going to affirm your position and then look at planning a year in advance on the calendar. Does everyone still see my screen where I'm in the business plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So my commitment to exit is about building a team that honors production and success, right? And here in this office, I want to say I want to honor the Lord, right, as best we can. And part of that is making sure that we're serving others. And that's kind of goes along with a lot of the action steps that I've got lined up for us. It's going to be more about serving and providing value than asking. So I think that service is going to be paramount to us being productive, right? So, but there again, EXIT as a whole, as well as the office, is committed to, helping everyone, grow their business. And so that's what I'm here for. So, and there again, individually, we can make a difference. Together we win. And that, that statement stands for itself. So some keys to success, our goals. Obviously, we're going to be covering some goals today. There again, I'd say, talk to your spouse or significant other, if you got one, to kind of let them have their input on how much time you're going to be taken away from them to accomplish some of these things, whether that means locking yourself in a room to make phone calls, sitting up, making up a marketing strategy, or, drip campaigns, things of that nature. So, and that comes into planning. So, we need to kind of come up with a plan of action. So, first thing, we need to come up with goals. Second is, how are we going to accomplish that? Third is what our skill set is. Honestly, guys, real estate's not that hard. The hard thing about real estate is being consistent. I know some of you, have yet to have your first closing, and that's okay. I've said this 100 times. Real estate's not hard. Don't worry about the contracts. Don't worry about the actual process of selling a house. I know this sounds, counterproductive, guys, but the bottom line is your skill set is need to be able to sell you to the client, right? So a lot of folks think that our product is a house. And then, if you're a listing agent, yeah, the product is a house. But realistically, your product is yourself. So you need to be confident in yourself. And so in the group page, I've listed some ways to be confident in the market. So go back through the Facebook group page and read some of those. The more you look at those numbers and the more you look at, hey, what's the current market doing? We're coming into the holiday season. Okay, so we all are going to be put in positions for Thanksgiving parties or Christmas parties, or what have you, where your agents, they're going to be asking you, what's the market like? We need to have that answer. And so go back through the Facebook group page, and that's going to give you some things to look at to be able to talk about. And the more you're able to talk about those, you're going to be setting yourself up as an expert in the field, whether you've done 0 transactions or not. So get over in your own mind, I haven't done much or I haven't done any. That doesn't matter. People are going to buy from who? People that they know, like, and trust, right? So the part of building that trust is I know what's going on in the market. I keep my finger on the pulse, and I'm here to protect you. And so, but you've got to know that you can do that. Okay. And I can't instill that in you. I can only show you how to start building that foundation of just assurance in yourself. Then the next portion is action, right? That's our biggest issue, guys, is lack of action. So lack of production is a direct result of lack of action. Okay. I can even say that for myself. I'm down quite a bit this year. I've had my focus on I've got so many irons in the fire right now. And so I just need to become better with my time management. And so what I'm going to be implementing, honestly, for the accountability is going to be have a big of an impact for me, I think, as it will for you. And there again, we'll get into that later. Okay, so here's a self-assessment exercise. And okay, no one likes exercise, but I need to start doing it as well as you. So we need to first thing look at our physical health, because if we don't have that, we have nothing, right? So, rate yourself on this. This is just a current state of affairs. Spiritual health, I think we're all pretty much faith, are people of faith. It's just how much faith do we have? So we need to look at our spiritual lives, our mental health. I know some of us are more mental than others, and I'm probably the head of that one. But we need to look at our mental health as well, because it's that mindset that's going to help us succeed. We need to look and see how we are with our family. You know, I was watching somebody and I don't even want to, I was during this 3-day session. I don't even want to bring this lady up because I can't stand her. But someone said that they met Oprah. And so they asked Oprah, hey, what is your satisfaction level in life? 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. And she came back and she said 3. And they're like, well, you're a billionaire, you do this. And in my opinion, she, you know, going to Epstein's Island and all that stuff. But well, it's not going to that. But anyway, she said it's a 3 because you can always improve, right? So in our family lives, we can always improve, okay? Because I think we all know it's, you know, family is tough, right? And so we need to improve, and we need to be we just need to make sure that we focus on that and we recognize that. Intellectual, you know, make sure you're reading and doing self-help books and things of that nature, learning more about the business. Financial, you know, that's more specifically about personal finances, you know, how that's going. And then business is business finances. So how much you're spending on business and tracking that. Social and fun. Now, guys, we have to have fun, because then, you know, that blows, you know, if we're not having fun, it's tough to have any of these other areas be in the very satisfied section, right? And then contribution is, you know, are you giving back? Now that's both financially and even our time, right? So it's the law, you know, the more you give, the more you get. So we don't want to give for the purpose of getting, but that's just kind of one of the laws out there. Visualization. So we need to look and see that we can actually accomplish what our goals are. Okay. So you have to actually see it and know that you can accomplish it. And so a lot of this is the self-talk. I'm a biggest offender of this. What you tell yourself, your mind believes. And, you know, I'm always hard on myself about numerous things. We need to start getting into more of a positive reflection of ourselves and a positive outlook on where we can be with our lives, where we can be with our business. Okay. So that's kind of tough. And okay, so back to this visualization. Part of that is on actions, right? Visualizing that I'm going to be doing actions, that my actions will produce for me. You know, I'm reminded of a time, I won't get too far into the story, but I had a chore that I was supposed to do. I wasn't doing it. I left the house to go do the chore I was supposed to do. I was supposed to drive the tractor down to the sawmill to get slabs to cut up. And I was screwing around, didn't leave when I was supposed to leave. Long story short, the tongue on the wagon comes off the tractor around a curve by the house we used to live at. And so as I'm standing there trying to figure out how I'm going to get this wagon, you know, the tongue back on and how to get the tractor backed up to it, there pulls up my dad. And so instantly I saw him, I knew I was dead. And so he gets out and he's like, what are you doing? And, you know, Brianna knew dad. And so dad was kind of sharp in his words. Everything was black and white with him. Long story short, I came up with this big, long excuse, right? And he said to me, he said, Chad, excuses, and I'm going to clean it up. But Chad, excuses are like noses. Everyone has one and they smell, right? So I think we need to make sure that we don't fall into the trap of, I've got this excuses. This came up, this came up, this came up. I wasn't able to do business related activities. Now that's true. It's going to happen because it's happened to me. But we need to look at those and say, okay, what can I do to prevent that from allowing me to accomplish something today on my business? Okay. Sometimes we may have to shift gears. But so we just need to understand that, you know, we visualize what we're going to accomplish. Sometimes we have to make changes, but we need to get in the habit of not allowing our excuses to stopping us dead on our tracks. Right. So 5-year vision. So we need to look and see where we want to be at physically, where we want our family to be at, where we want our business to be at, where we want our personal finances to be at, where we want to be our mental state, right? And so all of these things you can, like physical, okay? Me, is going to be, hey, I got to get fit. I got to lose weight. Family is, I got 2 grandbabies I want to spend as much time with as I want. And I want to spend more time with the grandbabies than the kids. Sorry, Brianna. But anyway, business is, where do I want that business to be? And actually write down what you want that to be look at, what to look like. Same thing with personal finances, where you want your mental state to be in. And that can be just, hey, I just want to wake up in the morning, be glad I'm alive, be looking forward to what, today holds for me, as opposed to waking up dreading it, because that's where I'm at right now. I just wake up and I'm dread the day. So I need to change that mindset and get my mindset back to being excited. And, I'm not a big believer in, I'm starting to be, I'm not a big believer in EXIT just had their conference this last week. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not a real rah-rah kind of guy where I get motivated by that, but I kind of do. And so we need to put ourselves in positions to where we're uplifting each other and uplifting those around us, because people want to be around folks that are positive, that are high energy. The higher energy you put out, the higher energy you're going to get back. And it's going to be the same type of energy that you give out. So if you're a higher positive energy, you're going to get a higher positive energy back. If you're higher, lower negativity, that's what you're going to find in return. So there again, it's all about mindset. So I know you're wondering, hey, when are we getting to the business planning? And that's right on the corner. Contribution, and this is part of the planning, guys. Okay, but contributions there again, that's whether it's financial or just spending some of your time. Spiritual is just like, hey, where's my faith at, and how can I improve that? So I think let me do this. I'll cover this and we'll move on to the next Zoom meeting. Let's hopefully that goes better. Zoom session, because we're running out of time. This is a year in review. So total days worked. Now, I'm looking at real estate, because I know some of you have other jobs, but real estate. So how many days did I work? Okay. And that's actually like in the field working. So Andrea, it's like when you and I are out showing property, right? So how many days are we doing money activities that are going to be creating money for us, commissions? Different than prospecting. So look at how many days you did prospecting. So prospecting is effectively calling, call nights, door knocking, which hopefully, we'll be talking about that in another session, but, door knocking, it still works. Those type of prospectings where you're at parties talking to folks saying, hey, I'm a realtor. So how many days or how many hours do you think you spent this year? Places to find that out is your calendar. If you keep records in your calendar. Another place is if you've got a CRM or some other database that tracks that, and some of that database also help out with the contacts and listing appointments and things of that nature. But looking at 2023 recap is contacts. How many people did you talk to about sending business your way? Are they looking to buy or sell? Same with listing appointments. Listings taken, you can pull that off the MLS. You can also get that out of the resource center for those that have had transactions. Listings expired, same thing. We all kind of know what expired, what canceled. I mean, this year I've had so many listings canceled, it's ridiculous. How many listings sold, how many buyer sales that we've had, price reductions. This is important too, because if we're having to put on the market and reduce the price, we need to do a better job of convincing our buyers to put the house on the market at the appropriate price. How much you got paid in paid income, pendings coming up, and then average sales price, average commission check. So all of that is going to be easy to figure out. So I'm going to end this session. Go grab a water. Make sure you got it, that you're thinking about the actual numbers. And then we'll reconvene. I'll resend, I guess, the Zoom link to everybody. So check your emails for the Zoom link for the second session. Okay.
Thanks, Ted.
Okay. I'll get that right out. I'll see you guys in just a few minutes.